you very much for those of you that have spoken to the chat. We could see the chat, and yeah, some of us were getting a lovely complete meeting and others were not. So allow me to just start over. Those of you that were hearing before, please be patient, and you're just going to get a reinforced idea of the material that we've just shared. That said, welcome to the outreach information session for July 2024. This is the topic being the cultural villages at the New York State Fair. My name is Molly Winter. I'm Assistant Commissioner at New York State Department of Agriculture and Markets. Before I fall for this again, thinking that everyone can see me, can we confirm? Everyone, thumbs up. You can see me, hear me. Yes. Okay. All right. There we go. There we go. Yeah. So just want to go over some of this information again. The agenda. Welcome. Again, apologies for that, and thank you very much those that chimed in and said they weren't seeing or hearing things. Again, my apologies. We started on time, so thank you for that notice. We're going to do a quick review of kind of the outreach resources, just in general, a quick background when it comes to the New York State Fair, and then just jump into the cultural villages. Don't want to cut into their time too much. And then it is all about kind of next steps and additional any questions that you might have. So I want to make sure that you have time for that. And with that, we're just going to jump into this. First, when it comes to outreach resources, again, I'm Assistant Commissioner of New York State Department of Agriculture and Markets. I'm here as part of my role with outreach. A big part of that is letting people know about what resources currently exist when it comes to everything that people are trying to do in the wide world of agriculture and our food system. It also is letting people know, here, let us know, please give us a platform to what's going on, where there are gaps in information, things like that. So with that said, some background of some quick resources at your disposal. We have Ag and Market's main website, that's agriculture.ny.gov. That is highlighted because for everything that you're about to probably see and hear today, there is a link somewhere through agriculture.ny.gov, so you can follow up and find that information directly. A lot of work has been put into that website to make it pretty much as easily to find. There's a lot of thorough information as you narrow down what you're looking for. Eventually, you will likely find your way to a phone number or email address. We also have been very thoughtful of trying to, consolidate resources so people can find things that are very topic focused and get them all in one place. So, for example, we have the Beginning Farmers page that really focuses for those of you that are just completely new to farming. I'm just looking for any type of resource, any type of guidance. Are there funding opportunities? Are there support organizations, things like that? We have a page for that. That also supports those that are beginning, not completely new, but beginning, 1 to 3 years. Looking to level up, what are the next steps, things like that. So there are training opportunities and supports for that as well. Another page that we have that is kind of a primary landing page for a lot of additional information is the Diversity in Agriculture page. That's really developed to provide a source for kind of historically underrepresented and underserved communities. Those looking for, distinct support for, special needs. As Commissioner Richard Ball often says, agriculture is where the 1% feeds the 99%, and amongst the historically underrepresented communities, there are definitely additional supports that are needed for a lot of the work that's happening with agriculture, and just being culturally supportive of that. So we're trying to cover a lot of ground on our end. In addition to that highlighted email address, agriculture.ny.gov, you're also going to see the email address, outreach@agriculture.ny.gov. That is your default if you're going all through the website and you're saying, I cannot find what I'm looking for. I implore you to please look for, send an email to that email address, outreach@agriculture.ny.gov. That is your default of, I don't know which division to contact. I don't know exactly where to go. That is monitored by more than one person. Know that we are taking in questions across the state and sometimes outside of the state, so it does take time for a response. Feel free to do a follow-up nudge, but things do take time. So if you're like, here, I need a response within an hour, that is probably not going to happen. But if you do send that information, at least it gets it on our radar that there's some concern that you're looking for. Next, we have the department's, sorry about that. The department has some newsletters, one being the Monthly Harvest. The Monthly Harvest covers kind of like the wide range of things going across New York State, the different things that are happening with industry, different types of awards, activities, things like that. When it comes to AGM Resource, also known as Info and Opportunities, that highlights some things that, kind of get overlooked, underrepresented communities, such as USDA's Equity Commission. We have New York State, African American Commission, things like that. So just trying to make sure everyone has an opportunity to get the news that they're looking to find. When it comes also to, we have executive open office hours. Those are hosted by myself twice a month. And those are specifically, basically, to provide some type of platform to really just be able to speak and fill in the blanks for a lot of what's happening in the news, provide you some context between newsletters, information that's not timely enough to be in the newsletter. It's just trying to fill in a lot of those blanks. Depending on, who's in the room, they are open office hours. So it is a time to probably ask some questions. If I can't answer in the moment, it's also a time to just, put things on my radar to follow up at a later time. And last but not least, we have our monthly information sessions, which you are in. Thank you for joining us. These are really topic focused. These are topics that, come up repeatedly, that we get asked questions in person or when we're, through the email address. So trying to address those so people have like the main information that they need, as well as those things that they come up and people are like, I wish I'd known this, before I discovered this, a la the cultural villages of the New York State Fair. So very glad that you're joining us today. We welcome kind of new ideas for information sessions. We're only doing, 12, actually a little less than 12 a year. We have two hiatus for the New York State Fair and for December. But please, if you have some ideas for new information sessions, put those on our radar. The previous information sessions, because these are recorded so people can access them later, are available through that Diversity in Agriculture webpage. The slides will also be available through that. You can see the past recordings. We have stuff on grant-making fundamentals. We talk about conservation, soil health. We talk about emergency management. So there's a lot of past information that is very relevant and useful to people that would like to engage now. And we're going to keep moving along. We have the 2024 New York State Fair. So just going over some general information before we go into the specific villages. First, where is the New York State Fair? It's in Syracuse, New York at the fairgrounds. There's a lot of history here, but just putting things in perspective, and I know that we're starting a little behind here. I'm going to keep things general so we can focus on our cultural villages, but there is that website, New York State nysfair.ny.gov. It was the nation's first state fair. It started in 1841. We're having attendance over the 13 days of over 1 million people. At this point, we want to give you, there's no excuse not to attend. So when it comes to, travel assistance, it is possible to travel by train now. Amtrak has, I think, 4 trains a day that arrive between August 21st and September 2nd, the days of the fair. There are all kinds of things to do for, $8 adult admission because it's free for those under 12 and those over 65. There are concerts that cover a wide genre of music over several stages. So you can have, country music on one, if you want to listen to hip hop on another, if, the Herman's Hermits, old school on another, you can have those possibly all in one day. You need to check the fair schedule on that. There are all kinds of competitions that are happening when it comes to horses, culinary style, all types of art. There's food galore. I think that's a given at this point. Museums covering pretty much everything. Their ideas into the future, all of it overlaps with agriculture. I will not forget that we do have our butter sculpture. We have a whole dairy bar where you can get some, freshly served New York State milk. We also have the sand sculptures. We have something literally for everyone. It's a great opportunity for community to come together across the state, and including international visitors, especially Canada, has a regular presence there. We're going to move right along here to there are some special fair days that I want to make sure are on your radar. I'm not going to go through the whole list. Again, these are all available on a website, but some points to highlight. Opening day is a big day at the fair, pretty much any fair for those of you that are attending your county fairs. We have Student Youth Day, Agriculture Career Day, where we're going to have, 4-H, FFA, Future Farmers of America, and Manor, standing for Minorities in Agriculture, Natural Resource and Related Sciences. A lot of their youth are going to be running around our fairgrounds. They have scavenger hunts. They're learning about different careers in agriculture and different opportunities for the future. Pride Day, New Americans Day, and Family Fishing Day. Also, there'll be those days you're going to have parades, you're going to have induction ceremonies, just important days for everyone. Again, not going through all those days, just know that if you follow up with those websites, you will learn more about the different details. Are there different discounts if that applies to you, such as law enforcement or Armed Forces Day, things like that. I'm going to move right along to our cultural villages, and I'm going to check. Oh, excuse me, guys. I think we're having some technical difficulties. I just want to check again. Do you all see? Julie Lefebvre, I'm seeing your message. Was that resolved with one of our presenters? Okay, sorry. My apologies, guys. So when it comes to the agenda of the slides, now that we might be jumping around, we might be having a couple of technical difficulties with a few of our presenters. Just in general, there we go. No, there's our presenter. Just in general, when it comes to our cultural villages, again, very glad for those attendees that can join us. We have invited the leadership from the cultural affairs. I know they have so much more they want to share, but time's limited, especially limited to us since we got delayed a bit. But this is their opportunity to at least let people know that these exist within our state fair. Why do they exist? All the activities, there's a lot of work that goes into the cultural villages, and this is just a small snippet of kind of different slideshows, opportunities to present what they do. Please be aware that not all of our presenters were able to make it today. Life happens. That said, best efforts will be made to present on their behalf. But right now, I am seeing Ashley Shenandoah from our Indian Village available. And please, if we do have any further technical difficulties, just chime in the chat and I will address those as soon as possible. Meanwhile, just know that when it comes to questions, please put questions in the chat. We'll address those on the tail end. I will ask presenters to be respectful of their time, and I will put out a little kind of warning to let them know, here, we're going to have to wrap up if we hit kind of like the 30-second mark. These are being recorded. Just please put your questions in the chat. And with that, let's begin with Indian Village with Ashley Shenandoah.
Hello, my name is Ashley Shenandoah. I am the superintendent of the Six Nations Agricultural Society's Indian Village at the fair. Next slide. The Great New York State Fair truly displays the ethnic diversity of the Empire State. We invite you to immerse yourself in the culture and heritage of the original New Yorkers at the Iroquois Indian Village located between Gate 4 and the 4-H building. It's the showcase of cultural and Haudenosaunee Confederacy, which consists of 6 Iroquois nations: the Seneca, Oneida, Cayuga, Mohawk, Onondaga, and the Tuscarora. In 1928, ground was officially broken for the Indian Village at the New York State Fairgrounds. The Indian Village is proud to have been a part of the New York State Fair for almost 100 years. During the fair, we educate the public and share Iroquois culture, customs, crafts, and agriculture. It's important to know that after all these years and with what Indigenous people have endured, that we are still here. We are flourishing, carrying on our customs, and continue to grow the traditional foods that have been handed down for generations. When you visit us, you will see it. Sorry, next slide. When you visit us, you will see a large peace pipe that was hand carved in 1932. The stem is 16 feet long with a 23-inch bowl. The pipe is important to the Indian Village because Franklin D. Roosevelt dedicated the ceremonial pipe while he was still the governor of New York in 1932. And at the time, he actually smoked from this pipe. The following year, when he was president of the United States, by an executive order, he designated the Indian Village property as belonging to the Six Nations Agricultural Society. Since then, the Society has maintained the grounds in conjunction with the New York State Fair to promote and uphold the village. In 1936, the Society gave permission for the 4-H building to be erected on their land just behind the Turtle Mound. Therefore, when you visit the Iroquois Village and the 4-H building, you are indeed on reservation land. In 1933, a new exhibit added to the Indian Village was a huge ear of corn. The corn is 13 feet high, and each individual kernel was hand carved. The Iroquois consider corn, beans, and squash to be gifts from the Creator and are referred to as the Three Sisters. You will learn how companion planting these together is beneficial to each other in their growth. Although many farms use this technique today, it originated with the Iroquois. A birch bark canoe and a dugout canoe are also on display. The dugout canoe was carved out by a group of men from the Onondaga Nation, and in 2013, they paddled in this canoe from the Onondaga Nation to the United Nations in New York City. Next slide, please. We have a 2,300 square foot 16th century replica bark longhouse. The structure is based on an archaeological excavation. You will see what the inside of a longhouse looked like as well as the construction. Daily lecturers take you back in history and explain how the Iroquois lived hundreds of years ago. Next slide, please. We have traditional Iroquois music and dance shows 3 times a day at 11, 4, and 7 on our newly renovated stage that we call the Turtle Mound. The stage was built to resemble the turtle because the animal is sacred to the Iroquois. You can also meet the Indian Village Princess. She will be available for photos and to answer questions about the Iroquois after each show. On August 27th through the 29th and August 31st to the end of the fair, a special 2 p.m. show is added and will be hosted by a different Iroquois nation each day. Native Americans have always had a strong relationship with the Irish and have supported each other through the years as far back as the Great Famine. On Thursday, August 22nd, we welcome the Johnston School of Irish Dance with a 2 p.m. performance. They are located in Syracuse, New York, and this will be the 2nd year that they will be performing on the Turtle Mound. Our busiest day on the Turtle Mound will be on Six Nations Day, which is Friday, August 30th. Native Americans from all regions come together to enjoy a day of songs, dances, food, and competition. In addition to our daily dance shows at 11, 4, and 7, we will have hoop dancers at 12 p.m., a comedian, Daryl and Spruce, at 1 p.m., a Veterans Memorial at 2 p.m., and a smoke dance competition at 3 p.m. The smoke dance is a very fast-paced dance, and the different styles of the dancers is something you won't want to miss. Closing the night is award-winning Native American band Tonema at 7:30. Next slide, please. You can also enjoy a meal at our soup house, which is the only place in the fair to enjoy restaurant-style indoor dining. It is entirely indoors with plenty of tables, an outdoor deck, and a screened-in porch for seating. We offer authentic Native American dishes as well as American home-cooked meals with daily dinner specials at some of the lowest prices in the fair. Breakfast is served from 6 to 11, and lunch and dinner are offered until 8 p.m. The Soup House has made the top 10 fair food list more than a few times in recent years. Next slide, please. Visitors will walk through several buildings that resemble longhouses to admire displays of artistries, ancient relics, and agriculture of the Iroquois people. There are over 40 vendors selling authentic craft handmade items. There's a variety of items to choose from. They work on their crafts daily, so you will experience live demonstrations of their techniques. Next slide, please. A lot of these Iroquois crafters have learned the process of their craft from either a grandmother or a mother or someone in their family. So this is a craft that is handed down from generation to generation. There are hundreds of different items to choose from. We have vendors from all the 6 different nations, and we have several buildings for you to enjoy walking through as you come and see the vendors. We also have a woodworker carving various items and an herbalist that offers Native American ointments and healing salves. Next slide, please. You can try your hand at archery and lacrosse, learn how to hold a bow and arrow correctly and shoot at an archery target, or how to hold and maneuver a lacrosse stick and take a shot at the net while our radar detects the speed of your shot. Lacrosse is a sport that originated from the Haudenosaunee. On August 25th at 4 p.m., we will have a few of Syracuse University's lacrosse players at the lacrosse shoot and SU's very own mascot, Otto. Be sure to stop by and take a shot or take a picture. Next slide, please. There is no disagreeing that we are the grassiest and shadiest place on the fairgrounds. After experiencing all that the Iroquois Village has to offer, feel free to cool off and relax on a number of benches under the trees. We are open daily from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. located between Gate 4 and the 4-H building. All of our events are listed on the New York State Fair website, so you can go there for more information, as well as more detailed information on each of the performers. We can't wait to see you and share Iroquois culture and traditions with you. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you very much, Ashley. I cannot possibly convey to you all, if you've not attended any of the events over at Indian Village, words would never do it justice. You just have to go, honestly. And I will leave it at that so I don't take up too much of the time of our other villages. Again, for the Van Robinson Pan-African Village, I will just stand in and share what I can. Regarding the village, their presenter was unavailable. That said, just some highlights to have on your radar. Know that for the Van Robinson Pan-African Village, it's named after the first Black president of the Common Council in Syracuse. Got elected into office in 1999, served for 18 years. He's known to dedicate his life when it comes to Syracuse's vulnerable communities. You can visit him at the fair, always has a presence there as of late in his role. Working on behalf of Syracuse, he worked very closely with Senator Schumer when it came to a lot of the work for Interstate 81 and trying to secure some funding when it came to basically completely rehabbing that and all of those efforts, which resulted, I believe, in over $180 million through the Inflation Reduction Act to work toward just completely overhauling Interstate 81 and all that's involved with that. He is a very strong advocate, actively involved in the local NAACP branch. The NAACP of Syracuse and Onondaga County are leading roles in the whole creation, oversight, and programming of Pan-African Village. And Van Robinson is, if he's not alone, one of those people that if you could see him in person and just shake his hand, it's worth it, to the point where Senator Schumer brought him as his personal guest for the federal State of the State with President Biden this year. Moving along, just to give you a little snippet of some of the imagery over time of when it comes to the Pan-African Village. It is located, if you're walking through the main gate, if you're familiar with the New York State Fair, it is just to the left of the main kind of Chevy Court stage in the rear. It's between two very large kind of Center of Progress and Art and Home Center buildings, so you can check that out while you're enjoying a little air conditioning between a lot of vendors and a lot of kind of artistic sites. Attendees, you will enjoy food, you will enjoy dancing, you will enjoy basically a lot of community conversation. There is always opportunity to just kind of sit and just talk to other people that are enjoying all the sights and scenery around them. It is also a great opportunity to just support kind of local businesses and vendors here and throughout the fair. Here are some additional photos throughout the year, some of those vendors over the past, as previously mentioned. Another big part of the Van Robinson Pan-African Village is education. You will learn about, a lot of the history of like leadership and allies of the African-American community. You will learn a lot just through the culture. Again, the food, which you'll notice is a trend throughout the New York State Fair in general. There's always kind of a drum circle where there have been lessons of here. Do you want to learn a little bit about the drums, the history of them, in addition to learning how to, hold on to a beat, and a little bit when it comes to government, because again, NAACP plays a big role when it comes to this, and that is voter registration. There is always that table where you can connect and speak with local leadership of the Syracuse and Onondaga County NAACP and register to vote. You will always having at some point elected officials are stopping by, so there's some images right there You have, Andrea Stewart Cousins in the middle. Again, notice the drum. She is the first woman and majority leader of New York State Senate. We have Letitia James over by the Rum Cakes, New York State's Attorney General, and has been such since 2019. She's the first woman of color holding that statewide office, first woman Attorney General. So she's our chief lawyer and law enforcement officer, and also enjoys, obviously, the Good Way Gourmet in Troy, New York, who always comes out, and there's always a line at some point when it comes to the rum cakes for that. So yes, there's all types of food, dancing, and good community talk. Excuse me. And with that, I'm just going of the Pan-African Village, and please stop by if you can. And with that, please, Latino Village, led by Elisa Morales, Superintendent.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so we've been having some technical difficulties and we've been bounced out a few times. Our camera's frozen, but I'm going to continue. I'll take the next slide. My name is Elisa Morales. I am the proud superintendent of Latino Village at the great New York State Fair. I believe that Latinos add the spice to America's melting pot. I'm a proud Latina with Puerto Rican roots. I grew up in Syracuse, New York. When I was a little girl, my parents brought me to the New York State Fair and I instantly fell in love with everything about it. The animals, the rides, the games. We visited the fair every year, but I always felt like there was something missing. So I wondered, where's the salsa music, the empanadas, the rice and beans? Growing up, I thought I really loved the fair, but I'd like to see a dedicated Latino area to share the beauty of our culture and music and food and just so much more we have to offer. The vision and pursuit of making this dream a reality took decades of conversations and advocacy. In 2018, the fair director provided the perfect platform for our teams to create a unique cultural experience for all fairgoers. Latino Village started with a weekend celebration in the area now known as Chevy Park. Since then, we went from 3 days to 4 at the Talent Showcase stage. And this year, we are going to 5 days in a new location, just slightly further down from the Talent Showcase stage. We'll be providing entertainment on 2 stages, so we're excited about that. The ultimate goal is to develop the area and be present the whole 13 days of the fair. When we created our logo, which is right there in the center of the slide, and also our archway, we wanted to include the flags of the 20 Latino countries whose primary language is Spanish. We also include the American flag, being mindful that some people identify, for example, as Puerto Rican American, Mexican American, and so on. Something else you'll see on this slide is Ave Gigante. That is a folkloric character, the one with the spikes coming out of his head in lots of colors. Our ambassadors walk around the village on occasion, and they're there for photo ops, and they're there to party with us and dance too. So if you're at Latino Village, look out for our ambassadors. They'll be happy to say hola and also, take a picture. Next slide, please. So our entertainment or entretenimiento, we strive to bring the best Latino entertainment to our stage. Just a few of our fairgoer favorites that entertain us every year are our resident DJ, Geraldo Iglesias, also known as DJ GI. He spins the latest tunes daily of all kinds of Latino music. He also offers dance lessons and performs with his dance troupe, Caribbean Dance Connection, on our stage. El Potro Donny, he is a mariachi ranchero singer. He is so entertaining to watch. It's always fun when he's there. He's almost a fiesta by himself, to be honest with you. So come out and see him. He does contests. He really likes to be interactive with the crowd. He's also the king of the conga line at Latino Village. We also have, we love working with our youth, and Latino Village has La Joven Guardia del Teatro Latino y Danza Latina. So it's a mouthful, but these kids put on a show so amazing every single year. Even if they don't speak Spanish, the beauty is that they learn Spanish through doing the programming, and they're celebrating their 25th year, and they're preparing something special for our Latino Village stage this year. New to this year's lineup, we welcome the Black Lights Band performing Santana hits. They've been entertaining the masses for over 5 decades. They've opened and shared concerts for Earth, Wind, and Fire, Marvin Gaye, and the great Aretha Franklin, just to name a few. So get your dancing shoes ready for their show on August 29th at 8 p.m. And also sharing her musical talents with us is Isabella Velasquez, a new rising Latina pop star coming in from Florida. Isabella is a lead character in a Netflix animated music series for kids called Dee and Friends of Oz, which was published this February 2024. Also in 2024, she was a finalist in La Voz Kids Colombia, which is The Voice Kids Colombia. Don't miss her performance on September 2nd at 2 p.m. Next slide, please. Latino Village is welcoming and a safe space for everyone. For our team, vendors, performers, artists, and fairgoers, pride, orgullo is every day. Traditionally, the last Sunday of the fair, just before Labor Day, we celebrate a Pride, Orgullo, LGBTQIA plus day. We've come a long way from our original drag night that featured three of America's favorite Latin queens from RuPaul's Drag Race for a Q&A, performance, and meet and greet. We also featured New York State Latin divas to kick off the event. To date, the highlight of our special day is our annual Latin Divas at the Fair. The show is produced and hosted by Samantha Vega. This 2-hour spectacular show is fun for the whole family and very popular among fairgoers. Each year it gets better and bigger. So please join us for the Latin Divas at the Fair on September 1st at 4 p.m. Next slide, please. Special events, eventos especiales. Latino Village hosts a number of special events and exhibits under their large tent, including the New York State Trailblazers Reception, which is an annual gathering of some of the top trailblazers who serve the people of New York State. Latino Village hosts this special event to celebrate the leaders who inspire and blaze the way to success for others. This year, it'll be held on Thursday, August 29th. Also, backed by popular demand, we will have live art with Latino artist Tino Lopez. The beautiful artwork on the right hand of this slide was created live in front of fairgoers at Latino Village last year. Come see him paint live starting at noon from August 29th through September 1st. Latino artist Benny Guzman will be displaying some of his personal artwork and work created in community programming. He'll also be offering art making workshops highlighting Latino culture and traditional practices. Workshops will be held August 31st through September 2nd, starting at 1 p.m. We also have a Latino country exhibit that highlights fun facts about that country in Spanish and in English. Next slide, please. So we're on the slide with our vendors, vendedores. So every year we have had these 4 vendors who have been with us from the beginning. First, we have CNY Latino, who has always been someone who's promoting the fair in all kinds of Latino events throughout upstate New York. And they're going to be there not only with their CNY bilingual newspaper, but they also are going to be there with a domino tournament. So if you've never tried dominoes, it's a good time to try. And if you're a seasoned player, then you've come to the right place to be able to play with other seasoned players as well. Planned Parenthood, La Liga, which is the Spanish Action League of Onondaga County, and as well as the Department of Transportation with their I-81 project, are always there with giveaways, information, and they'll even dance with you if you ask them to have a good dance with you. And also, we have our Latino Village information table. It has really turned into a stopping point for fairgoers to pick up a map. A lot of people get lost, so they come to ask us, oh, what time is this show? Or do you know where this is? Luckily, my superintendent knows the fair like the back of her hand. She could get you anywhere. So if you do stop in, say hola. And it's also in that last slide, a place for fairgoers who bring their service animals to get a little bit of water, because it does get really hot out there. So they get a little shade, a little water, maybe even a little treat this year. We'll have to see. Next slide. So it comes down to my favorite part, the food, comida. Our food vendors offer the best in Latino cuisine prepared fresh at the fair daily. Big Papi's Coquitos Ices is a longtime Latino Village favorite, bringing the flavor of New York City to CNY with their frozen treats unique to the Great New York State Fair. Calle Tropical is a family-owned food truck specializing in savory, authentic, and unique empanadas. They will be bringing their award-winning dishes and offering new items, including strawberry-filled churros, to Latino Village this year. Birria Queso Tacos Syracuse, named the best birria tacos in Central New York by Eat Local New York for the past 2 years. Backed by popular demand, they will be serving their authentic Mexican dishes from their new food truck and will be offering new Mexican desserts. Excel Cafe and Bake Shop, is a Latina-owned dessert truck bringing delicious homemade desserts, cold and hot coffee, and refreshing drinks like their recipe for Brazilian lemonade. And new to Latino Village and to the New York State Fair this year, we're thrilled to introduce Baja Cali Taco Company. They bring a taste of the West Coast to the East Coast with their signature made tacos, taco and burrito bowls, and supreme nachos. So again, if you want to come to the fiesta, it is at Latino Village. It's easy to find us on the west end of the fair. Make sure you come and dance with us. Talk to our vendors. We also have some vendors selling some artisan items and other Latino items and goods. So please visit us and make sure that you eat our food because it's the most authentic you're going to find on the entire fairgrounds. And let's face it, it's probably almost everybody's favorite part of the fair. Thank you for your time, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much, Elisa. And I can personally attest, La Fiesta, La Comida, this is not a drill. Just have your dancing shoes on and just smile. And if you don't know the steps, someone will happily treat you like family to connect the dots and just have a good time. So thank you very much when it comes to sharing some of the things and highlights for Latino Village. For Asian Village, I believe our presenter is having some technical difficulties, so I will step in. Should he step in and appear in time, I'll just step away. But know that Tai Ngo Sha, he is the superintendent of Asian Village, which had its inaugural year last year. So this will be its second year at the New York State Fair. It's over by Gate 4, not far from our youth building. When it comes to the Asian Village, we're very excited to have this. He's doing a very, very big job with him and his team when it comes to representing the wide diaspora of the Asian community. He's bringing together a lot of their contributions, the history, experiences of Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander communities. This is done through music, dance, traditional food, and a number of special events that they're hosting. Their entertainment, it includes singing, they have drumming, traditional dances performed at celebrations. They have some business openings and festivals, as you can see, from some of those initial pictures, and that's kind of like the opening and their logo. Moving forward, as I mentioned before, the fashion show, which again covers the wide diversity within the Asian community, sharing and representing all that there is to see, not just from the community of present, but over time, and continuing incorporating a lot of the traditional music as well. And again, I know I'm moving a little quickly. We did start a little late, and I want to have you guys out on time, but know that all of this will be available online, more of the fashion show and some of the music that comes into play, and for some of the concerts as well. And for awareness, so Asian Village does run from August 21st to August 25th. Still expanding, growing as fast as we can, as slow as we must, for quality and all of that. In addition to, we have the fashion, we have the music. There are also kind of competitions and demonstrations, as evidenced right now. And some of our wrestling with an entire kind of wrestling platform set up as well. And so that is all I can add. I would not want to do a disservice by misspeaking on many of the things happening in the Asian Village. But that said, know that these slides will be available online. What you're looking at right now are specific, quick web page snippets that are available, that you will be able to find these online as well, or go directly to the New York State Fair website to connect. You can find those through the venue link. These have pretty much any information that's currently available with different events, as was mentioned before by Ashley Shenandoah, all of the dances and everything that are happening over at Indian Village. You can find those. So there's just a lot going on at the fair. It is very easy to either get lost or like, oh, I have to rush from one side of the fair to the other. So plan your day, have water, have comfortable shoes, be prepared to dance at Latino Village. And with that, we have about 5 minutes for additional any type of questions that might rise. I am seeing that someone recognized their teacher, the music teacher from Syracuse who teaches the drum circle. I believe that's in Pan-African Village that was raised, is awesome. So thank you, Brian, for bringing that to our attention. So we have a ringing endorsement for the drum circle over there. Right now, it's a time for any type of questions that might come up. Again, my apologies for a couple technical difficulties, but the big thing is that you guys have the information, and I implore you to please share that with your networks. Tell at least 3 people about the cultural villages at the New York State Fair. Literally, it comes up with regularity about anyone who finds themselves there for the first time is like, oh, I wish I'd known about this earlier. There's a lot to do at the New York State Fair, and these are one of those things that sometimes just get overlooked, and they shouldn't be. They are all distinct and powerful in each of their experiences. I'm going to leave a little more time when it comes to questions in the chat. Any questions, any comments for the chat? And keep in mind, if you have something that should raise later, or if you have any trouble finding something on the website, know that you have that main email address, outreach@agriculture.ny.gov. You can always use that, follow up with any type of question, or if you have something to add, or if you have any type of ideas. And I have people who are already booking to attend there at the New York State Fair, so that's fantastic. I also tell you to check out the different specialty days. A lot of work goes into the New York State Fair. It is just 13 days, but they fly by with everything that happens, and it is packed into those days. You get a lot for $8 just walking around, let alone everything that you can add to your experience there. With that, it is 4:55. I will stick around. I like the presenters stick around, but I have nothing more to add at this time. But for those of you that do have questions, please type those in. Otherwise, we're just going to wrap up the information session for now. And I want to thank you all for attending. This will be placed online, date to be determined, but you are able to access all of the previous information sessions through the Diversity in Agriculture page on the Department of Agriculture and Markets main webpage. And again, that main webpage is agriculture.ny.gov, and that can connect you to pretty much everything else that you need to get through all the divisions and the activities. I know sometimes it's kind of, the information's overwhelming, perfectly fine, and that's why you have the email address if you need some help. As always, please give it a little time. Government's doing the best as it can when it comes to supporting people and getting their information. There's a lot of information to share. But with that, thank you very much. And I just want to thank all the presenters. I know you have a lot on your plate, especially as we're entering less than a month before it is time for the opening day of New York State Fair and all those final plans that are happening. So greatly appreciate all the effort. Greatly appreciate your team for all their effort, and very much looking forward to going to the New York State Fair today myself. I know the commissioner will be there. I know the governor and lieutenant governor will be stopping by. There's a lot of activities that are definitely worth seeing there. Final call for any types of questions. All right, we're holding till 4:58. Questions or comments? All right then. Thank you very much, everyone that attended. Thank you very much for joining us today. And as always, please, if something pops up later, feel free to share at that time. And thank you very much, presenters. Greatly appreciate the time and effort that you put into this.